How y'all are? How you doing? Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Waiting on my guests to show up, but I'll get started. How y'all doing? Uh-oh. Oh shit, let me move up before I knock this shit over. How y'all doing? Mark Wonderlich, Boxing Barbecue. What's going on, family? It's been a good day. It's been a real good day. And after I leave here, I'm taking my ass back to the gym. I was there earlier, but I felt undone, and I'm on vacation as it is, so why not go twice a day? You know what I mean? The Mala, the plant-based pugilist, was good. Jay Good, what's going on? I seen the dream. Shakita Dow, what's going on, family? Hold up. I'm waiting for Flex to stroll on in. JC, Marquise Johnson, what's good, man? Omega Red, what's good, man? Ooh, I'm on fire, man. I'm on fire. You already know what it is, man. You already know what it is. So y'all see the title? Shout out to JC, man. He gave me the idea for this. We were supposed to do it last week, but I was having technical difficulties. I just built a new computer, and I was just trying to figure out some simple stuff, but I figured it out, and we good. You know what I mean? We good. Yeah, wait for my guests to show up, man. Group training versus one-on-one training. Basically, what that is all right. Everyone here, I'm assuming, has been to a gym, and the popular thing is classes. Aerobics classes, yoga classes, kickboxing classes, and you see things like that, and they're great. They're great. But I know. Oh shit! Hold on. Yeah, I know a lot of people that don't really they like one and they don't like the other. Here we go. I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Now I can hear you. What's good? What's good, man?
It's all good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We just got started, man. I was letting everyone know that the difference between. Well, I was just leading into. Oh, here he go. Here he come. Here he come. Oh, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Yes. What's good?
Chilling, brother.
All right, man. So you found your keys, man?
Yeah, dope. that was such a anthem. Oh man,
that is hilarious.
Thankfully, everything was fine.
Good, man. Good. What's good? We just got started. Tone Brown, what's up, man? Yeah. The question is, it's like whatever floats your boat. What's the difference between one-on-one personal training and actual classes? Like at the gym, there's people that like the spin classes and the group swimming sessions and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I've always been a one-on-one training kind of person, because that's more focused for me. I never liked group things. I remember I took a yoga class. This was a long time ago, and I was only able to do about maybe 3 minutes of it. I don't know what I ate the day before, but I had to fart so bad, and I was like, "Chill, man. If I let that shit fly in here, someone's gonna want to fight me." But it was crazy, man. But I wanted to know, like, what's more popular? What's more popular as opposed to what's more helpful? So I'm gonna start with you, Josh. What do you find people like better?
Well, I think the easiest way to step in, being in the fitness industry for years and also like in mainstream clubs, it's always going to be group classes. They're really easy to get into. You can hide off in the corner if you're a little intimidated. You
Mm,
can. It's a good way of not getting like a hardcore focus on you. Most trainers that run giant group classes, it's really hard to give like a lot of one-on-one attention. So you don't feel like the spotlight's on you all the time.
right.
So I think for a beginner, especially now, right? We just still dealing with New Year's resolutionaries, people that are coming into the gym that are making it super crowded, and those group classes are full, they're packed. So
Mm,
I think primarily just because it's easy to get into, and then I think that's a great segue. Some people want to start off that way. It'll help them get regimented because it'll be like the same schedule every week.
right.
But yeah, I think it's a great to have like those Zumba classes, those dance classes, even like the strength ones are pretty dope. But I think there's a great way for people to get in there.
Cool. Flex. What about you?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Josh there as well. It swings both ways, really. It depends because you have different types of customers in it, like he's just mentioned. You have people that want to hide off in the background and not be seen. But at the end of the day, everyone works differently. So some people might need a more one-to-one focus. And also, the fact is, you can only get that direct help, that more involved if you have a one-to-one session than say if it's less personal when it's a group thing.
Right.
You can, if someone needs and wants a one-to-one focus, right? The group is probably not for him,
Mm,
even because he's gonna be there feeling like it's not for he's not aimed anything at me. I don't feel like he's talked to that person, right? Where's my attention? There's also that plays into it as well. So there's different factors, and it depends on what that individual wants. Groups is good for you if you're a new timer, like Josh says. Yeah, start off with the group and then get introduced that way so people get to know you a bit better. But if you want a more focused type of workout or direction, be best for one-to-one, and that you feel like you're having the attention at you, and it feels real. Do you know what I mean? And the
right.
person it feels personal.
Right. What would you what would you guys recommend as far as would you recommend a class for a person based on their needs? Like for instance, let's say a guy comes in and says, "Yo, look, I just want to lose some weight. I want to do nothing else." And would you like refer them to like just go take a bunch of spin classes? And by the way, those spin classes ain't no joke. All right,
No,
I went
they're
up in
hardcore.
I went up in there, and it wasn't at our gym. I went to a spin class one day, and I said, "What the hell?" Some dude up there with shorts, and he got up there on the bike, and I'm saying, "Okay, I'm gonna ride a damn bike." So I'm riding the bike, and then he picked it up, and then he started pedaling, and I'm trying to keep up with him. I was done. 5 minutes. I said, "Fuck this." I got off there. I walked out the classroom. I quit. That was some bullshit. I wasn't. I realized later that was like the advanced class. I wasn't
Yeah.
ready. I wasn't ready for it at all. I wasn't ready for that. I got the fuck out of there. You know, something I want to address real quick. My brother JC says I'm good with a group or support group. Pushing me is fine, but I don't need a drill sergeant in my ears for that. No, I hear that. I hear that. You know, and people work different. See, I like the drill sergeant thing.
Hmm.
I just like it. I like so I'm you know, we don't do it at that gym, but I've been to gyms where people are screaming at you. To me, that motivates me, but to other people, that's an absolute turnoff. So I would think it's up to the particular person. But if somebody comes in there and says, "Okay, look, I just want to lose some weight," would you rather train with them one on one, or would you just refer to them as a class and just give them a diet regimen?
All right, now for me, like disclaimer aside, I will try to do my best to not be biased because again, I am a
Mm-hmm.
personal one-on-one trainer. I have done group classes before in the past,
Mm-hmm.
but just for information and education, I would always recommend it's fine to lose weight, but I want you to learn how to lose weight.
Right.
And I would strongly advocate one-on-one personal training, even if it's just a few sessions to get your money's worth on learning how to eat better, learning how to have like a strong, regimented program based on your goals, and start gearing yourself up towards um, just getting into a lifestyle that's going to help you lose weight. Because as great as group fitness is, there's no real education other than
Mhm.
learning how to jumping jacks and you do some kickboxing in the air. It's just and I don't mean that to discredit or put it down, but I'm just saying that you're not really getting like informative information in the middle of a class. So I always strongly recommend at least get personal training. That way you can learn the machines properly, get some
Right.
proper form. Because even when you watch these group classes, I see people doing group classes and they can't squat for anything. So they're doing these
Yeah.
motion, and it's hard for an instructor to like kind of critique a whole class
Mhm.
on how to squat correctly. Because then you're gonna wind up turning the whole session into a how to learn how to squat class, and that's not what they're there for. So it's really hard to even let that rock. So I always say get the personal training sessions. Ask all the questions you can. Use them up. That's your money. Don't be afraid to ask.
Mhm.
Let them know what you get with your packages before you sign up, because some people don't do nutrition. Some people are not nutritionists, and then or some people have no. They look great, but they might not even have no real idea of how nutrition works. But they might know how to help you with the machine. So make sure you get your money's worth when you're shopping for a personal trainer. That's what I strongly recommend.
Flex, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. Basically, I wouldn't just push someone off to do a group session because I think they need a more tailor-made approach. So it's less one size fit all, and you go in. He doesn't learn anything like Imanza said if he goes into a class. But if you have a one-to-one session, it's going to be tailored for his needs, his goals, and where his fitness level is at specifically. If you go to a group class now, like you're saying, you went to an advanced class, and you're like, "Fuck, I'm getting out, getting out of here." You know what I mean? So, but if you have a one-to-one person, you can firstly assess where your fitness levels are,
Right.
and also probably, some coaches do, but they don't. They can see where your confidence is and how to approach a program for you, and how to kind of like steadily bring you in and then talk to you in a particular way, like that's specific to your personality,
Right.
or whatever that you can deal with.
Now,
Now,
as go ahead, go ahead, go
no, I
ahead.
want to say also conversely, the what I always see is like the benefit where group training kind of like has that little edge, um, is the camaraderie. You're in a group class of friends, neighbors, other members. You see the faces all the time. And it's kind of cool that at the end you guys are high fiving each other. It kind of makes you feel better. You're also pushing each other, and sometimes that you could establish relationships of different sorts from it. And I think that's the small edge above it, because like I tried really hard I mean I do very well. You see me in the gym all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
I connect with a lot of people, and I like to connect with my clients as well. But some people may need that little extra motivation of a big group to
right.
cheer them on, to push them. And if you have like a good group fitness instructor, you're gonna get that. Um now like for me, it's like sometimes some people it's hard to dig in. Like they need more a certain type of motivation like I can't uh give them. Also for me as a personal trainer, since it's one-on-one, I can't callously just cheer them on.
Mhm.
I would never do it falsely. Like, I'm not gonna cheer a
Right,
bad squat. Like that's
right,
unfortunately my issue, right? I'm not gonna be
right,
like, hey, so in the classes, these people they're going at it, they're training, they'll high five you regardless of how good or bad you're doing, and that's fine to an extent, and it gets you hype, makes you love it more. But that's how I see like that little edge that group training has, that camaraderie, and that atmosphere of we're social creatures. We like to hang out. We like to perform well in front of others
right.
and please people too.
No, that's the absolute truth.
Yeah, I like to
Good.
add. Sorry, I like to
Yeah.
add something to that. That's right as well. I agree with that. but there's also another. There's two sides to every coin as well. Where it might work one way, you have to also think that it can work the opposite way. It affects the person the opposite way, where he feels embarrassed, or he or she feel embarrassed because of the group, because she can't perform. You know what I mean? Or holding the group back, and then he's spotted out, depending on what kind of if the PT is a dickhead or I'll say a person, and doesn't point him out. Do you know what I mean? And again, the group can have a different effect, an adverse effect to the person's already dampened confidence. So sometimes it works differently if that person has a one-to-one and build their confidence into doing groups as well, because a group can also they can have that brotherhood and that connectedness. Sometimes some groups might have, but other groups might be a little bit more cruel, where they're colder than that. And they might laugh, or
you might want a whole new gym. Like that's
you know what, you might want to talk to the manager or the PT. They're like, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with all that. I've seen it all. I've seen where it helps. I've seen where it can do harm. I'm not a personal trainer, but I've been around enough of them. You don't want to reward bad behavior. Like you said, you see a bad squat, it's like shit. You don't want to say good job, because in the long run, even when it's lightweight, when they start adding that weight and it's a bad squat, you're really gonna hurt yourself in the long run. Believe me, I know. So yeah, as a trainer, that makes a difference. You guys as trainers, what really grinds your gears about? You ever had a? All right, I hope no one is watching this. Like anyone that you've worked with in particular, but it don't even have to be at the gym. Like in the past, let's just say in the past, have you ever had a one-on-one client? Though they're paying you, they like pissed you off to the point where you just want to bop them on the head, like, God damn it! What are you doing?
That's like every day.
like give me an example of something. Like they're paying you for a service, but they just can't get it together. Like give me an example of that.
I think most of it is the unrealistic expectations of some clients, that they'll come in, especially like it's January or even getting closer to summer. They want to get summer ready, and they're like years out. Like you need some time. You need to or better yet, even if you implement a good plan, I'm also connected with most of them on social media. So even if they do watch this, they know I'm watching. And they know that I call them out on it too. That if I have put you on a diet plan, and then I see you, taking shots at midnight on Instagram Live, it's like,
what are you doing?
I don't know. Those are the ones that really grind. Like, that really upsets me. And then they'll come in like, I don't know, Josh. I'm doing everything you told me. I'm like, lies. You're not. You're not. Like, those are the ones that really upset me. And of course, it just takes a different type. You have to work with them differently. You can't just keep, doing the same thing. You have to change your approach now. Try to talk with them. As personal trainers, we also play somewhat of a therapist too, at some extent, because we have to really work with the psychology of people, trying to work it around that is more digestible for certain mindsets or lifestyles. And then, but it's not like we don't get infuriated, like sometimes it's like, come on, really? It's like, oh, I didn't know, I thought pizza was an okay carb. It's
I didn't know.
Like, on what planet?
Yeah.
What about you?
Flipping hell. That just made me laugh, because nothing sprung to mind until Josh started talking, and then it was like, yeah, that springs to mind. It's the mindset of some people, the unrealistic expectation, where someone's looking at Flex Wheeler and thinking, shit, man, you need to get me looking like him. 2 months.
Like tomorrow. It's like, how? Flex, what?
But they're eating fucking pizza and all that shit, and talking about flexible diets. And hold on, did you hire me because I'm especially at flexible dieting? No, you didn't. Do you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And you've been educated on diet as well, on what food to eat. But at the end of the day, sometimes you tell people, and it's like it's not a personal trainer they need. They need a shrink. Do you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because
Yeah.
it's just that the unrealistic expectation. Sometimes it goes beyond something else. It's because of other social conditioning and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and other
Oh,
things. You know what I
true.
mean? And it's like I can't. How do I deal with this? You know, and it's
And
always it always comes back to when you tell when they fall off and fall short, they never take the responsibility or account for what they're doing, and it just keeps going round and round for some people. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And it's just
that's
for me for a personal trainer, I will have to go and study how to be a shrink to get into.
that's how it feels. Yeah.
That's how it
oh.
feels.
Yeah, people they come into the gym sometimes with a heavy head, and it's also they come in there with like a mental conditioning. Like I'm not even a certified trainer, but you know I get a lot of people, especially within the last 13 months. Oh, I want to go to the gym with you, and I'm like, okay, I can only, I give a full disclaimer. I'm like, yo, look, I can only do what works for me. I can only tell you how I got this way, but with two different people. So you can come with me and watch me, and I can help. And then I need more patience because I've gone to the gym with coworkers and the women are the worst. I'm like yo, look, all right, you want to work out? You know where the gym is. Text me when you're there. Text me when you're there, and I'll tell you. And then they go, and I'm like, all right, well, this is what I'm doing today, and I'm doing this, and don't worry, this is just a machine. We're gonna lower the weight. Well, I don't want to do that. I want to go do that. What the fuck? Why are you here? Why are
They
you
thought
here?
you would help craft their personal interests.
Exactly, but I tell them sympathy is what your girlfriends are for. You know what I mean? Only come to me if you want the truth. Now, your stomach is hanging all crazy. The back fat caught up to your butt, so now it look like a washboard. And you say you want to change that. All right?
But that's the thing. They need to not just like not talking like women directly, but everybody needs to be taught how that translates. So most of them think it works a certain way. Like I get all types of weird concoctions on how they do it or how they plan on doing it all the time. And I'm sure Flex does too. And then they come to us and they want us to tell them the same thing. Like, how many times have we heard Mediterranean diets or I
Mm-hmm.
want to do keto? I'm like, do you even know what keto is? And then they want us to put these on these fads or trends or, and again, I'm a big proponent for some diets for certain people. It's just like when they come in with this preconceived notion of what that is, it's hard when you're a friend
Mm-hmm.
because you want to be like kind and at the same time it's hard to break past that mental wall of teaching and
Right.
opposed to also your time. Like with personal trainers, we're paid for that, so that's what we're there for. We do
Mm-hmm.
that. We deal with it and we try to work. Like almost like baby steps for those people to understand what it's going to start to take.
Yeah, that's tough, and I'm learning by watching you at work and just everybody in there. I take notes because I hear the clients.
Hmm.
I listen. I hear the clients, and I'm like, shit. He's not listening, or she's not listening, and I'm not trying to snitch, but everybody lives close. And there's been times where I've been out and about, and I've seen them. How you leave export and you're coming out of Burger King? You just left the gym and you come with the burger, munching on it,
Yeah.
and I'm going into Modell's, and I just look. I said, "Oh, you just in the gym, and then snacking on a large fries."
Hmm.
Ugh. Okay, summer's around the corner. What you finna
But
do?
remember, a lot of people have their own demons to fight. That's why, I give slack to a certain extent. But remember, it ain't easy. Some of us on probably on this podcast right now, um, were able to make that step in some way, shape, or form, but they've been limits where we weren't in the best shape, or weren't there yet, or weren't taught. And
Oh yeah.
that's why, again, like I try to be as patient as possible, with realistic expectations for my clients. And again, does it hurt my heart a little bit to see events or hear events like that? Of course it does. But in the end of the day, like it's a process. They have to, like, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, right?
That's
So
right.
it's like something has to eventually click some way, shape, or form, for them to realize, maybe I shouldn't go to Burger King today.
Hmm.
But until that happens, I don't know.
So like he's just said, I'll add to that, where exactly they've a lot of clients, including, remember, I wasn't born this perfect. I wasn't a PT. I had to be trained as well, and I had the same social conditioning. That's the same norms, the same kind of false education
Hmm.
people think and perceive about nutrition. Do you know what I mean? You have to get rid of. It's like a minefield to someone that's new to the game. You're tackling and going through all of that minefield in their brain to unlock, unravel,
Hmm.
reprogram, and get them to kind of like see what you're trying to say. Because there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of
Hmm.
different psychologies. There's a lot of things that's going around, and I've heard so much of them. It take you years to kind of debunk the bullshit.
And sometimes even just too much real information, right? Like sometimes they don't know where to go. Like, like I'm pretty sure I'll use this as an example. It's like, when it comes to like medical science or just science in general, are eggs good or eggs bad, right? Everyone talks about the cholesterol. That's always going to be flipping for whatever reason, wherever you believe, that companies are buying into it, which is somewhat factual. And you have a lot of things about these different studies. Like when you have a new person looking at one research paper that says like, oh, the cholesterol is good for you, and the other one is like, oh, like this one's like bad for you. It's like I understand why they struggle. It's like because we have so many magazines,
Right.
that are publishing or saying, what's new, what's not, what's
Hmm.
good, what's bad. And then when you're a 14-year-old kid that wants to just get jacked, but you can't because you like, wait a
Hmm.
minute, am I not supposed to eat 13 eggs a day or something like that? It's like, it's like it gets crazy.
And like you have these celebrities nowadays that's promoting. They don't know anything about
Oh yeah.
nutrition, and
Hmm.
because of all of these things, magazines exploit so much desperate people out there. Do you
Hmm.
know what I mean? And there's a lot
Hmm.
of things when they're like you have food giants that are promoting that what eggs are 10 million eggs raw is good. Just an example I'm trying to show you,
Yeah.
right?
Right. 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 Right.
They don't do, but
Right.
but say that, or say you have other product industries that have come into the fitness game saying I'm going to promote protein powders, and
Hmm.
this one does this. Do you know what I mean? To be more specific, but I'm not trying to call anyone out. But to say this more, these tablets are better
Hmm.
than this and that. You know what? Real food is better than any protein shakes
Hmm.
or any tablets.
I preach that all the time.
You know,
Yeah.
and again to break down those kind of, because again it's a minefield. Because myself, I recognize that the same thing that I'm looking at with a client, I'm recognizing myself in him. So that's how sometimes I hope, because I've been through it. Like Josh says, someone's actually done the thing. I've educated myself. I've gone through the crap, so I know exactly what they're going through. So I know that it takes time as well to break down those false informations and the different conditioning that goes on, like that goes on in society, and the industries that sometimes can be implemented in that.
Will Magic Man said, I remember one time I ran out of protein powder and so I ate 40 egg whites a day.
Raw cooked.
Was it raw or cooked? Jesus Christ. Well, either way, I
I didn't cook
lose.
mine.
I'm allergic to eggs.
Mm-mm.
Jesus. Yo, 40 egg whites? 40? Holy shit. Oh my God, man. That shit sound like it hurt. How, how much
It's
protein
not
would be in
that bad.
40,
It's not that bad.
40 egg whites? How much protein is that?
Uh, uh,
Oh shit!
How much is in one egg? I can't remember.
I don't even eat them, man. Eggs and coconuts. I'm a dead man. I
Eggs
can't
or
even do.
coconut.
Yeah, I lost either way. He said it was about 200 grams. He said about 200 grams.
So it's like 3.6 grams of protein for an average egg white from one large egg.
Holy shit, dogs! I
Sounds
don't
like
want
a
to know
lot
what your bathroom is like, man. That's
Yeah, that's the
crazy.
worst too.
Jesus, I mean those type of farts lead to a divorce. I mean, seriously, that's crazy.
Another thing I'll add as well, just wanted to say this. This is just for people that's listening, right? So as well, because I like to help people, right? And people sometimes don't believe that. I don't know why you go to PTs if you don't think that people are generally trying to help you. Um, the thing is, you don't need. People have under this notion or believe that they need a whole heap of protein, and protein is the most important thing in their diet.
Hmm.
You don't, right? You eat the amount of protein that it is determined by your weight and what you're doing or where you're starting from. You don't need a lot. You just need to repair your muscles, right? So don't stuff your face with a lot of because protein. You can get fat by protein as well, and have just by anything. You can get fat with anything. Do you know what I mean? But I always encourage or advocate whole foods. A whole food diet. So get your protein from plants as well. Plants.
What kind of plants?
Plant like
That's
that.
very important because someone asked me that today. What kind of plants do you get your protein from?
So you can get the general consensus is your seeds, your lentils, your this. These are the
Broccoli,
without eggs or milk and stuff like that. So things of that nature. But you get protein is in every single plant.
Wow, that's as good of. Someone just asked me that today. Will Magic Man said with the milk, it was over 200 grams a day. Jesus
Well,
Christ.
that's a good. I mean, that's a lot. But like, what was? I mean, that's another conversation.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna up the ante. All right, because here's where I'm getting educated at from you guys. I'm bodybuilding. I'm getting ready for a show. All right. What would you tell me? Well, you know what? Fuck that. Fuck that. Let's say a guy comes to you. He's like about 23 years old. He's about 220, and he has a okay shape. He plays a little football, whatever. He says, you know what? I want to start bodybuilding, and I want to get on the stage. I'm about 220. He's not really fat, but he's not really cut, and he's a little strong in the gym. You want to get him ready in about 12 months. Take me through what you start him with, as far as diet and a workout regimen. All right, like where would you take him from January all the way up to December, and he wants to get on the stage.
I'll start off with this, and then just you can add to what yeah. With him, I'd start off with because he's like what 220. Did you say
220?
He's not really fat, but he's not really toned either.
Right.
So yeah, I wouldn't start off in going into like a straightaway deficit, if you know what I mean, because you still have a year. Right, so I'll start off really slowly. I wouldn't add in any cardio yet to his regimen.
No cardio.
No cardio to his regimen. Not yet. You'll still warm up 10 to 20 to 15 minutes and also still cool down. But it's starting off with his diet. His diet I wouldn't put him in a deficit as yet. I'd ask him if there's any issues he has with like junk food. Does he eat any junk food?
Well, if he's American, he does. So
Well, there you go. If he does, then firstly, I'll start off with that. I know what kind of habits he has, and I'll start off with gently taking my time to take those out, and keeping is like so-called good food. Josh would know what I'm talking about here. So
Yeah.
keeping in his good food. So taking out that junk and keeping is
Jimmy Dean.
yeah, and
What-
slowly break him in that way.
all right, go ahead, Josh. Add to that.
So borderline the same thing. I like to implement now again no crazy bouts of cardio, but I want to make sure that 15 to 20 minutes is going to be like intense. Only for me, both as a lifter, um, a strong heart leads to better lifts. So I'm always going to be having like again that bout of that small bout of cardio, not a lot, but I still wanted him or her to sweat. Um, Yeah, like it's too early to like just start stripping away at everything. Weight pushes weight, so I want that person to be able to start building the current muscle mass that they have and start utilizing it. Keep the joints still relatively healthy. You're not trying to cut out anything so fast. I thought, yeah, I just mentioned that boxing and barbecue.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's the same thing. I agree with you, boxing and barbecue.
Yeah, that's my man. That's my boy. That's my boy. That's boxing and barbecue. Hell yeah.
So yeah, but other than that, nothing else would change. The same thing. I agree. It's too far out. And since you said he's like not that bad, like it's like has some promise in his shape and form. Is just start getting the habits built. Start having the meals. Like start even meal prepping or teaching them how to meal prep or trying to get all the little things that catch people. Like sometimes we hear all the excuse like budget. Like so they like, oh, I can't afford to eat like this. I can't afford to eat like, yeah, you can. I put people on some really cheap budgets and you can still grow. So it's like we can make it work. You just gotta do the math and start coupon cutting. So it's like start getting those little hurdles out the way, like getting their regiment ready, getting their making sure that the time and dedication and all little mental stuff about family and friends and work and school. Once you deal with that hurdle, now you start setting the groundwork. I would actually still have them depending on the competition, right? So again, what class are we going to start aiming for, right? Where are we going to start trying to, like Arnold said, right, putting the slabs of clay where, start putting these programs to start forming that body up. We'll probably have a real honest and true view of that person's physique and like, hey, you might need more shoulders. You need bigger legs, which is usually the case.
Right,
and then start going to work now, like, while you have this time, eat clean, slowly start cleaning up the diet, getting into that regimen. That's probably like the first 3 months there. Now you have like hopefully the measurements, right? Their weights. Are things changing, weekly or bi-weekly, depending on how you want to go? For me, I like to check the scale at least once a week if a person's trying to get ready for a comp, even if they're 12 months out, just to see again, are you changing according to the plan? If not, then something's missing. If you're telling me, you're eating everything and you're training the way you're supposed to, there's gonna be a change, and your scale's gonna tell me otherwise. So if you're not, that means either I'm lying or your scale's broken. So it's like, one of those things.
And that's another reason why I said I wouldn't add cardio in, like what Josh says, at first, because if you have 12 weeks, but depending on how his body composition is, it's possible for him to add a little bit of muscle in that period, because we're not going in a deficit straight away, but you can still be losing fat while it's like a lean bulk. And then so there's no shock in the body immediately in that way, so you can still be building into the show depending on what his body might need, and depending on his body competition, and also the habits that he has and the things that you might have to deal with first. You deal with them at the beginning so that they're not that causing that much problem when you're in the deep end. You've got your discipline on point. You're educated to an extent as well, what works, and so you can also go away, and Josh can leave you, or I can leave you by yourself to regulate yourself a bit and be more accountable to what you're doing.
Yeah, that nail on the head as far as I'm concerned, because I've seen it. It's crazy. Sidebar, real quick. What does the panel think about creatine? Do you recommend it for fast recovery? It causes cramping for me in the stomach, especially. What do we have to say about it? Creatine. I used to take it. I don't take it anymore because of different reasons. But what do you guys think about it?
I'll start again. Josh, you wanna cut in afterwards?
Oh
I
yeah,
always,
of course I got you.
I always make, because Josh will add in. With me, with me, there is people say, I won't add my personal opinion, but there's a lot of, this is what people say, that's one of the supplements that they would recommend. Everything else, no. Different. Creatine is one of the great benefits that you'd add to creatine, because your body runs out of it, right? It makes it, but it runs out of it pretty quickly. So you need that top up, right? And as well, it helps you with your recovery, and your recovery. Once you're recovering faster, your strength you'll have your strength last a bit longer, and etc. But personally, I don't use it a lot. I don't rely on creatine, and a lot of people use it for strength as well. I don't rely on creatine for my strength. I don't use creatine at the moment. Drew, you see what I lift.
Yeah.
Right?
No, listen. Let me say this to the chat. Don't let what you're seeing here fool you. If you think you're seeing a guy that, it's not what you think. This guy lives some crazy shit, man. It's ridiculous. How tall are you?
5'11".
He's pretty tall. He lives some crazy shit. You do some deadlifts that my back hurts when I look at it. I don't even want to touch that weight. I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck, man? You know that's some serious shit. The deadlifts are serious, man. I wouldn't touch that, man. But yeah, as far as recovering, and Josh, you're no saint, man. I came into the gym one day, and I don't know what happened, but at the squat machine, all of the 45s were at the very top. And when I came to the steps and I looked to my left, I said, ain't nobody but Josh was doing that. And Alpha said, yeah, he was just over here. I said, see, all right, okay. I'm about to go to the machine, so I had to remove everything. I left. Look, pour me some
I was in the bathroom.
You probably took
I re-rack.
I said, I ain't fucking with it. I put the belt on. I said, I ain't doing this shit. Get out of here, man. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous weight. All the creatine in the world wouldn't help me recover from that. Fuck that.
And as well, sorry, Josh. And as well, Josh, please address this. As well, there's a lot of different creatines out there. You know, and people are going out and this can say creatine. I'm gonna buy it.
But especially when it says like creatine monohydrates or different styles of creatine that are more used for instant energy as opposed to getting deeper into the muscle for like that little extra water retention, or to use as an energy boost with the ATP process. It's like there's a whole bunch of things on the market. Like any company, wants to change it up. They add a little label or a little trademark on it. Boom, you have a new version of it that they can sell and patent, and whether it's good for you or not, you got to do some of the studies for it. But to help the personnel for recovery, there's a lot of other options. Like, you can go with glutamine as an option. I always felt fine with having L-glutamine in my, aminos, or making sure that I like to personally get it separate for recovery. Or again, your diet and sleep. Get the basics down first before you start, relying on these supplements. And these basics aren't hard. These are what you should be doing. Trying to get a decent amount of sleep if you can. If not, start figuring out why you're not.
I have a 9-year-old. That's so there goes that.
But once you have that 9-year-old, you gotta figure out still. Because no matter what, your goals don't care about the excuses, right? If you set yourself a goal, your goals don't give a shit. So if you either, like Arnold say, sleep harder, then you get that 4 hours, but sleep, enjoy it, like, or nap. I always tell people again, like, there's always like I have like a story for. I was doing construction at NASA in Cali, in Mountain View. I couldn't take a break or eat because it was like a crazy project. I took Ziploc bags of chicken breasts sat. I was like, they'll never tell me no. I couldn't go to the bathroom. I was like, all right, I'm going to the bathroom. I'll sit down and eat out my Ziploc bag, chicken breasts in the porta potty. That's the only way I could get my protein. There's like you have to figure it out, like But for recovery, to get back on the recovery, my a lot of people. Flex, you could chime in on this too. For another source is like amino acids. Some of the data, currently is saying that some of it is BS. I'm a strong proponent for at least. I don't care about the rest on the amino acid profile, but the L-leucine is the one that I see that the studies keep gravitating towards. So as long as you get like at least 3 grams in one of your scoops of amino acids, I think that will yield to protein synthesis to help promote you to recover, to grow muscle, as well as start throwing in separately some L-glutamine in there with it for help with recovery. There's been several studies on glutamine and with athletes, and there's been some results, again not like some crazy big difference, but enough that if you want that edge, by all means dip into it. But nothing's gonna benefit more than sleep, diet, and proper training regimen.
Yeah, it's just mentioned exactly that the aminos because a lot of people will just go to creatine, but there's also supplements out there for other things, like Joseph says, as long as there's your amino profiles in there and it's got all the aminos that's necessary for your recovery, because aminos are very important. Creatine, yeah, it's all good, but you need that protein and you need your aminos, because you know what I mean, you need your amino profiles to be there also. But I will say a very simple, surefire way to help someone out if they're just going in right now and they don't know all this stuff, and they're taking the time to learn that they can't learn it straight away, is try and organize your training sessions to train. Don't start off training straight away so often and frequent, right? Your body can adapt to a certain amount of stress, but you have to give it time. So 3 days a week, try that for a bit. If you go blasting, you're gonna start having symptoms of a cold or depression. You can't do that. What you do, 2 days on, take a rest, a day off. Rest, 2 days on again, or 1 day off. You don't have to train 5 to 6 days a week to build muscle. 4 days is enough. 4 to 5 days. That's good. Sleep, like Josh says, help. But if you're training too regular, too often, your sleep patterns might be affected as well because of the stress that you're giving your body too much. You're overloading your system.
And also depending, and my, not to contradict too much of anything with Flex, is also very dependent on what's the goal. Like if you're just an average person looking for a summer body, yeah. But I would probably say, like, if you're intermediate to athlete, or I've never seen a pro athlete that just train. Like, I mean, they exist, but in the upper echelon of any sport, these guys are like breaking their bodies, So, but even them at that level, they're still recovering. They're still prioritizing their food. They're still prioritizing their rest, in spite of training either almost like 5, 6, even 7 times. So yeah.
Was there ever any? I've never heard of it, but was there ever any like how can I say? A group, like a class, like okay, like somebody just says, I'm gonna do a bodybuilding class, and the class gonna be like 50 motherfuckers. Is that even possible?
What do you mean, like on contest stage?
No, like a guy. I'm asking for a reason because I read something and I was like, this guy's. I ain't even gonna say my opinion, but whatever. He was putting together a bodybuilding class.
Oh, like a posing thing?
No,
like a pose class.
He was gonna give like a course where we're gonna build muscle in this class. And there was like 50 people that signed up, and I'm like, how the fuck is he gonna do this? Is he gonna have what are we gonna? How that's not even possible. Is there gonna be machines in this room or whatever? He was set up to take people's money. It was the most ridiculous thing I ever heard in my life.
It can be. I mean, depending on how it's run or managed. I mean, I'd be skeptical too. But I mean, I have been in, like, this is like years ago. I was training at Dolphin Fitness once, and it was this one. It was big. It had to be at least 20 of us in the beginning. It was leg day, so not a lot of us survived. But this guy, this guy was having us on this giant set of, like, you know. And if anyone knows Milos, Milos Flex,
Milos.
Milos, or they call him Milos
Milos.
Sarchev, the old classic bodybuilder.
Oh, I know the name. I know the name. I know the name. I know
It's
the
not,
name.
it's not clicking. I probably do, but it's not clicking.
No,
No.
yeah, but he's known for having these crazy giant sets. So this guy was
Mhm.
training us just like that. So to save up space, I didn't pay. I don't know if the other guys paid or not, but he put me in. He saw me train leg, and he wanted to put me in. And there was like 20 of us just going in a
Mhm.
giant loop. We're doing leg extensions, hamstring curl, calf raise, hack squat, hip abductors, and we
Mhm.
did that for like just giant rotations, going back and forth and resting in between. And then after that, we just kept squatting till most of the guys threw up. So it was just like a crazy training. One of the best, I think, I probably like top 5 leg training sessions that I ever had. I wouldn't do it too regularly, but you wouldn't be surprised. Like, of course, I'll be skeptical too if I heard there's like 50 people in there. But maybe instead of like paying for it, probably just see if you could just watch it to see if you're even interested in what they had to offer. Because what if they had multiple people separating them and working with them? But I mean, for a bodybuilding class, it'd probably be like, this is maybe more basic than you think. But I always try to have like the benefit of a doubt sometimes.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. But it was in a fucking community center room. There was no
Mm,
weights in there.
mm,
I said, "What the fuck is he
mm,
doing?"
mm.
Calisthenic class maybe,
Uh-huh.
aerobics maybe, but he said bodybuilding. I said, "Where the fuck? There's no machines in here. What is he even doing? What is he finna do?" 50 people signed up. I said, "Shit, man, that was crazy."
Good for them though.
Yeah, good. I hope it worked out too. I hope they all met their goals. Because
Yeah.
goddamn it, that was crazy. So in a one-on-one situation, if someone's trying to meet a specific goal, such as bodybuilding or something personally like for athletic, you would recommend like one-on-one training for that as opposed to signing up for spin classes or yoga classes, things of that
Yeah, I mean,
nature.
like, that's for, like, I mean, you hopefully you want to get with a trainer that has experience at least somewhat in your background,
Mm-hmm.
of what you're going for. You want to work with someone with that kind of like education, or work with another trainer who is well informed,
Mm-hmm.
well educated, and who's willing to help you work together. Because sometimes you may not have the chance of having a personal trainer that's competed. Maybe they have an idea or a clue of how the body works, nutrition, and they know how to get you there. As long as you can, like, again, work with them and you entrust in them, and make sure you see results. Like, the number one thing, like, I have with people, and again, even at my gyms, the gyms that I work with in the past, I had coworkers that they've been with trained clients that never saw a change in their life, and it's like, maybe they're happy with it. It pleases them to have a conversation while they're there at the gym and not be lonely. But
Mm-hmm.
you want to make sure that if you're putting money and investing money, that you're with a trainer that you trust, that that you're eventually seeing the program. As long as you honestly be honest with yourself that, or you're following it, you know, um, and you're not seeing results, then be open about it, be vocal about it, and speak with them. Because any trainer worth their salt will adapt the program to change for you. Any trainer that's worth it will help. Even like for me, if I know there's someone, if I have a client that could benefit from being with someone else, go with them. I want you to prosper, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I, especially with networking, like, I meet other people, and again, I'm also trying to like educate myself to another level. But until I'm where I want to be, if I know that this guy from another gym is what you want, I'm like, you want to check them out. This
Right.
guy's a pro with maybe like 50 people under his belt that half of them made it pro. Go, like, why like, go with them. I would suggest them. But if you can't, let's say if you can't afford their rates, or if this is all you can do, or you feel comfortable here, that's fine. But I'll
Right.
be honest about one thing about I'm pretty sure Flex has seen this too, especially with commercial gyms, is like, I do my damnedest to keep my integrity. I'm not gonna make a sale. I'm not gonna sell my soul for a sale. My integrity matters. I'll tell you honestly what I could do for someone, what we could do as a team and where
Mm-hmm.
we can go. And also for me, that sometimes that's studying extra harder,
Mm-hmm.
a little extra, because maybe it's like a condition that I never dealt with before, or a goal I never dealt with before. But I might be their only chance within a 10-mile radius to help them. I'm gonna do my best, but you got to make sure that your trainer's doing that for you.
Yeah, you've just touched on some points. I was listening to kind of then interject after you finished.
Oh.
Like, so because I have to point this out as well, because I know I worry about that industries. It goes, there's a lot of sharks out there, right? You have many people that would advocate that they know everything. Anyone listening right
Mm-hmm.
now, many people are selling you slogans and mantras and different things, and they listen to all of this. And what they will do then, they will go, come with me because I know everything else. The other guys that know this and that, they don't know. You also have to be careful and look for integrity, not just how much people they've coached, but this person's character and their integrity. If the person actually is interested in what your progress, like you've just said,
Mm-hmm.
right? If someone's you want that person to progress, and I have had that problem before. I've dealt with coaches that don't read. It's just the money, and it's just the process. You want to look for your best for your next show, and what they'll do is just anyone can make a sucker lose weight.
Mm,
You want to look like you've never looked before. You want your
mm,
potential to be tapped into. So he's looking at you. He's not giving you just every other program like he gives everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
He's specifically designing this for you. So he's checking you and asking you questions. If your coach is, if you go to someone and he's not asking you specifically questions for you, and then your answers determines how he directs your program. Don't go there,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's
Mm-hmm.
not. It don't look for. I know, definitely go for somebody that knows what he's doing and have the knowledge, but don't just make that be your gauge in who you pick, who you take up. Make sure also the person is his integrity is good and his character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's huge. That
and
is huge.
really also the help right on that, since we're talking about that integrity factor for a lot of people, is also vet out the clientele. And what I mean strongly with that, like I have seen some disgusting trainers that will
Mm.
go and they literally just hunt down like the most beautiful women in the gym, for example, right? And they'll train them, right? And they'll train them. They'll
oh,
get a group of
oh
them.
my,
They'll get a group.
women, yeah,
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 women.
yeah, yeah,
And then
women.
male trainer versus that, or vice versa, doesn't matter. But the whole point is, they didn't do that work.
Yeah.
That work was done. They just happened to train them, and then they'll use those women as advertisement. The trainer didn't give them this body; they already had this body. And then so just be careful when watching, like when you see men or women, what changed. Like,
Right.
what did you really see? Talk. Like if you have the ability to talk with them, like, hey, how did your experience? With such and such trainer, like, did you enjoy it? What was your transformation? And if they said, oh, I started working him at this time, and they show you a picture and they look the same as the picture, it's like, well, they didn't change much. You just picked them up. Um, so be careful with those types of traps, because it's easy, especially you know uh, like sometimes, unfortunately, women could get preyed upon because of insecurities. They'll see a beautiful woman, they want to look like this beautiful woman, but the guy didn't give her that body. He's just training her. And I say the same thing for some guys. Some guys are just genetic freaks, and we all know that they exist. So sometimes you could be working with him, and he looks like a star athlete. Oh, you're training with such and such. Like even with me, like I always want to take someone, even if they are a genetic freak, I want to try to. I get concrete numbers. Like, your numbers are here. Now your numbers are going up, right? So that's
Mm-hmm.
my way
Mm-hmm.
of dealing with someone who's already, a physical specimen.
Mm.
That's the proof in the pudding. So same thing with guys. You might have a collection of really like yoked dudes that are there in the gym, and you want to make sure that you're not getting with a guy just because he has that collection. Like, actually look into that. Like, how much have they changed? Did you witness it? Maybe, like, you've been in the gym for a while. You see me. People change, people come, and you might not even see me training with them because they reached their goal and they left. Once they're done, they fly. I want them to fly, because we're done. I gotta get the next one ready. So it's like, I strongly advocate for anyone. Don't just go with especially on Instagram, or other social media outlets, where besides the Photoshop, some of these people are physically, men and women are physically attractive, and don't fall for it. Try to look into it, like see what change looks like. That's my only thing, or what progress, whether it's strength, whether it's sports, whether it's physical, like a bodybuilding competition, or physique, or bikini, or whatever. See those changes. If you're not, then you might want to dig a little deeper and find out.
Yeah, and I'll add to that. Come back to the changes, specifically if the PT or coach is not specifically asking you or looking at you, monitoring you, and seems interested in your progress. He's just like, check in with me. You don't hear from him, and he's like, well, you're supposed to contact me. You want someone that's really interested in you, in changing your body. So they'll be telling you from the get-go, right, what to look out for. They will tell you, they will look you over and say, right, this is where your weaknesses are. This is what we're going to be doing. This is what you need to be building on to get here, and here. What's your, do you know what I mean? Those types of, and you can vouch for this as well, right? You know what I mean? You can be more specific. The things to look out for, not someone that's going to blow smoke up your ass and say you look brilliant. Not someone that's taken, like you said, genetic freak, or a specimen of a man or a woman, and then not change them, but they've made their genetics work for their coaching business. They've not changed the person and improved upon what's already there. They've just used his genetics and says his genetics is going to do the work anyway. Anybody can take a person that's a genetic freak and go, here you go. Well, I don't need to do anything. I'm not doing my job, and I'm not working any extra further. I'm just earning the money. The money's coming in, but I'm not doing any work. You're checking in every 2 weeks, but I haven't done anything I haven't spoken to you and says or changed anything. I've given you a program for a year and said follow that. So if I'm given one program, I'll go to you, mate. I'll buy a program off you if that's what you do, and I'll follow that for a year. I don't need to be paying you every single month if I'm not having specific attention from you. And direction as well.
Time out. Will Magic Man, how fucking old are you? I'm so old. I used to train the Grace Jones Slave to the Rhythm. Man, that was like 1981. How old are you, brother? Oh, shit. Let me find out you in your 40s, your 50s was good. Slave to the Rhythm. Yeah, I'm an old man. I remember that song. Yeah, that's an OG move right there. Holy shit. Yeah, that brother got 65.
Man.
Brother. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I'm trying to make it to your age. That's what's up. The brother's 65 years old, man. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Respect to that.
65 ain't old, man. I mean, good luck, man. How old is Chuck Norris?
I blame his mom. He's about 70 now, isn't he? 80 or something.
That guy looks great. That guy looks great. Sylvester Stallone. That guy looks great. I'm trying to look like that. That's why I stopped eating all that fast food, man. Yeah, Buddy Lee Senior, you're 70. We got brothers of a certain age up in here.
Ooh, okay.
That's never too late.
That's what's up, man. Yo, listen, man. That's why I do this show, man. Eat right, man. Get in the gym and do whatever you can, man. Do whatever you can. Because I was feeling like I was 104, about 104 pounds ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is why I do the show, because everybody needs to. I wasn't born like this. I grew up and I got real athletic. Then I wasn't athletic, and now I'm athletic again. And sometimes I get out of bed and I be like, oh shit, I overdid it yesterday. So that which I was saying about recovery, I was I was, I was really taking notes, man. I was really taking notes, man. I got some shit going on. Last week it was the elbow, then it's the calf, and now that hand up, I had something going on in my delt. It was crazy, but you know, I mean, just I realized how important warming up is, man. But I've taken those classes and they're fun, but they're not for me. One-on-one training is what I'm used to. You know, Josh, when we did leg day, I felt it for like 5 days after that. So F you, man. That shit, I was in pain. It looked good. I put it on YouTube and everything, but I lay in the bed. My wife was like, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "Please, just."
And we didn't even get to squat yet.
We didn't even get to squat yet. Yo, man, next time we're gonna do that. I gotta. You know what? I'm going back. I'm going to the gym when I'm done here.
Nice.
I need some really good leg wraps. Some really good leg wraps because I'm feeling. Put it like this. I know I'm not 21 anymore. I know that. I know that, man. You know, sometimes my kneecap feel like it's gonna fly out the front of my leg. That is not a good feeling. That's not a good feeling, man. But that's some amazing stuff. I've been told I have pretty good genetics. I mean, I don't know. I don't really recall working my shoulders to death. They just ended up this way. Well,
sorry to laugh, but
well, you know, I used to do a lot of like gymnastics when I was younger, like a lot of handstands, back flips, front flips, and shit. You see me in the gym doing the handsprings off the floor, you know, and I guess this is just a byproduct of that. But for a long time, I couldn't do a pull up to save my life. You know, now I could bang out.
Start doubling up on your side laterals.
Oh, on the side was right. Side lat. Okay, yeah. I'm definitely and I think
a week.
Twice a week.
That's
okay.
what I would say. Yeah.
So see, I'm taking notes, man. I don't know everything. So I'm taking notes, man. So maybe summer 2021, I want to venture into classic physique. You know,
At your current rate is gonna be way before that, but yeah, we're gonna do 2021.
I want to work on it.
I'm pretty sure Flex seen the pictures or videos, but you're doing a damn good thing, man. It's going very well. Just keep doing what you're doing. Everyone in there's looking at you, so just keep at it. You know, you're inspiring people. Just keep moving.
That's all I want to do, man. I have a lot of people coming to me on the daily, like, "Yo, I've been watching you." I'm like, "Huh? Watching me for what?" Like, nah, you know, ever since I saw you change, I lost 50 pounds. And then I'm looking at them. I said, "Oh shit, it's this person that used to be on the treadmill all day." And I said, I didn't even know that I didn't even know it was them. It was crazy, man. You know, so if I can inspire one person, man, that's groundbreaking. I never understood what that shit was until I actually started doing it like by accident. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's no money in this show. You know, I'm just doing it. You know,
we're getting up early to train ain't by accident.
True, man. True. You know, it takes a couple of health scares for you to just say, you know what? Let me fix this. You know, when you're sitting on the couch and your heart start racing for no reason, that's cause for concern. That heart racing is like, yo, you know what? Something about to happen sooner or later, man. You better put down those 14 White Castle cheeseburgers.
That crave case.
Yeah, man, come on. Put down the crave case for 2 fucking seconds so you can live. You know what I mean? So that's the type of time I'm on. You know, but I know my problem areas, and I'm gonna hone in and focus on it. You know, I'm on vacation right now. You know, so I'm gonna do some different things in the gym. But I'm gonna have some surgery. You know, I told you I just found out I had that hernia, and I gotta get that repaired. Surgery on the 16th, I think, or this month. Yeah, get that shit fixed. You know, but first thing I asked the doctor, I said, when am I gonna get back in the gym? He was like, "Gym, relax, man. You're gonna be out of commission for about maybe 3 weeks." I said, "All right." So so what I'm gonna do is you'll see me in there riding the bike though.
Yeah,
I'll be in there riding the bike, but goddamn, man, that's when he said that to me, that shit pissed me off, man. Because you're passionate about something when you wake up and you're thinking about it. That's passion. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about how many pull-ups I can do today. You know, how many push-ups I can do today. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like running over there, I'm like I gotta get in there, man. You know, sometimes people like my wife look at me like I'm crazy. Like, where you going? I'm going to the gym. You know, and she gets it. But you know, there's a lot of people that don't get it. They call me on the phone. Yo, where you at? I'm in the gym. You're always in the gym. Yeah. Why are you not in the gym? Why are you not?
Magnificent obsession.
Man, and this is a lifestyle, man. This is a lifestyle for me, man. So you know, shout out to my brother JC because this was his topic. You know, classes as opposed to one-on-one drill sergeant thing. I guess the answer is it's an acquired taste. It's an acquired taste. You know, I've done classes. Yoga classes wasn't for me. I like the high-paced stuff. The spin class, I was in the wrong fucking class. I'm sure if I had a slower class, I'd have been okay. But I've had some fun classes. You know, it wasn't for me, but I've also been in those. I've been in football gyms. I've been in powerlifting sessions where people are screaming at you. I just like shit like that. It's really like, you know, the smell of it and the chalk off your hands and the heavy weight on the bar. You know, I ain't throwing up no heavyweight no more. I ain't even gonna hold you on that, man. You know, but I just like that atmosphere. That's more, you know, the grunting and the screaming. That's more my speed. Yeah, the ammonia. Oh man, that's more my speed. That's more my speed, man. One thing I won't ever do, and I can guarantee you that, I will never work out with Tom Platz even right now, because that man scares me. There's no scarier man than Tom Platz, and if you in the chat, if y'all never heard of him, y'all could YouTube him and just watch. just watch his workout regimen. He scares grown ass men, me included. I ain't fucking with him. You know, I'll watch from a distance, but I ain't fucking with him. Fuck that. But
he's the reason why my legs they grew. I kept training and hitting, like, Jesus, I'm talking about sissy squats, 3 plates all the way down, all the way up, everything. You know, even the whole try to do he always said just 5 more reps.
5 more, yeah.
Reps. He kept doing that with the 4 plates, bro. Like I went to the point where I was just shaking, and I was like, my central nervous system was just bugging out. I was like, just pushing it to the limits. But that's what helped me grow. Beating it up, my legs like that helped me grow really, really quickly in a short amount of time. But again, you do have to maintain maintenance, and that can't be done. He says it himself. It can't be done every day, but you better, like, if you want to grow, you gotta take it to a limit if you want that size.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh shit, man! I hurt thinking about that, man. I hurt thinking about that. But I'm gonna close this up. Let them know where they can find you.
So they can always find me at Your Noble Beast on Instagram. Same connection on Facebook. You can check that out. Follow my journey as well as my other clients. Yeah.
That's what's up. Flex, how they can find you?
Yeah. I've got a website coming up as well, but I'll mention that when I've launched it. But you can find me on Instagram, Clifton Moraes, or you can find me Clifton Moraes DFSE Pro, 2 accounts on Instagram. You can also find me on Facebook, Clifton Moraes DFSE Pro as well.
Ooh,
on Facebook.
Classic.
And YouTube coming soon, right? YouTube channel coming soon, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, real quick before we get out of here, Felix Nunez, great question. Arnold Classic next week.
Let me see. So I'm like trying to fill up the lineup again, because I was actually having this conversation in the gym earlier. Let me see what I got. Because some of these names I can't pronounce. Like,
there's rumblings about Ramy coming in. Very.
Well, he's on the list already. He's already there. Like him, Dexter Jackson, Johnny Jackson.
He's made some great changes to his physique.
Yeah, Steve Kuklo. I mean, he's not gonna take it. Victor Martinez, I don't think he's gonna take it. Cedric McMillan, we always hope he's gonna take it.
Yeah.
But we all know the hype on Patrick Moore right now. Patrick Moore, since he came from the last Olympia, everyone thought he was just like he didn't place as well as he should. I definitely agree with him. Well, come on, you have Raleigh Winkler there. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Sergio Oliveira Jr., but I don't think he's taking it. Let me see who else we got. Max Charles, William Bonac, Lionel Bayeki.
I like Bonac.
Um,
I like Bonac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Raleigh Winkler, William Bonac, if you're gonna go based on, Olympia placings, um, and then maybe Big Ramy. But like you could always have an upset from Cedric McMillan, and I'm always hoping to see what Patrick Moore brings to that physique. He has a very small waist, very
Mm-hmm.
reminiscent of like again, like a lot of people say of like Ronnie Coleman when he first started. And I
Right.
definitely think he has a good smoothness to his frame. Like he has a really great like nice X frame, especially when he does like a nice
Right.
front lat spread.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for the open, that's where I'm a big fan of the Beast, Raleigh Winkler.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a giant beast of a man. Um, yeah, so it's either him or William Bonac is where my money's at. As long as Wally Winkler can maintain his midsection,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he's really
Yeah.
hard to beat.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Flex. What about you?
Yeah. Again, I'm with him because you didn't say anything that's unpopular to me at all. Rolly Winkler is one of my favorite. Definitely, I like Rolly Winkler from ages ago. I love that guy from ages ago. Do you know what I mean? But it just
Yeah.
depends on what the judges are looking for. Cedric McMillan as well. I like that guy. His character as well. Off stage, love him. But it just depends if he can get his condition right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If he can nail that condition, seriously.
It gets me so
It'd be-
mad.
Yeah.
Because like he has been promised. Sorry, I don't turn,
No.
but like he's been promised so many times that he might be next in line to be the Olympia.
Yeah.
And it's like
Yeah.
I understand the whole military thing, but he wasn't always like super active,
Mhm.
or overseas or anything. That's why they gave him the special invitation last time because of his military service.
Right. Right.
But still, it's like for years you're like this like. Everyone's saying you're meant to be the next thing, and like it's just so upsetting. Like we don't know what it is that's clicking or not clicking. But hopefully, I'm always hoping that he gets it ready for the Olympia.
I think he'll be top 5. Unfortunately, man, I'm picking Bonac. And I'm just curious about what they're gonna do. Well, it's always up to the judges, man. Are they looking for mass or are they looking for symmetry? I'll never know. And that's where Ramy sort of he's always in that spot where it depends on the judging. You never know what the judges are looking for. So I don't know exactly how he's gonna come, but he's looking. I've been to his Instagram. He's looking pretty. He's always looking big.
Yeah, that's the thing though. When it comes like to Instagram, we always seen those mirrors in Dubai that do the magic work, especially on Raleigh Winkler. They give you like it's like not a magic mirror, but when you see people like weeks out, they're still full, haven't depleted yet. They look amazing, grainy, veiny. The thing is like we all seen with like Big Ramy coming on stage, especially last time. I thought he was really before the whole issue when he took like that small break. I thought he was really well conditioned for his size. It's just that in a vacuum, right? If you see him solo, you're just like your mind is blown. But even when you put him next to some of these people, you can start to see the chips in that armor of like the lack of conditioning. Because some of these people are like you have more muscle detail, in spite of how big his quads are compared to his waist and such. It's just like when you had him next to like Bonac was I'm trying to see who else was conditioned. Because the conditioning is always going to be a issue, point of contention,
Right.
Especially now since like the last Olympia, everyone was shitting on like all the classic guys, Samir Banu, even the real technician. They're all commenting on the lack of conditioning. Even Ronnie Coleman saying stuff like Brandon Curry went in place, top 5, like some really crazy ballsy statements, which like I do see what they're saying, but we can never pinpoint them. I still think they'd probably blow them out the water with best. Sorry, that was like a long tangent, but continue.
Yeah, that's all right.
It depends on as well if the improvement any of them is made. If they've made significant changes and the coach, the judges look at it and think, hold on, you don't look any different. But if they come on stage and everybody else is lacking, you're gonna look like the winner. But if you come and you've made changes and You've gone away, and whatever the judges says you need to improve on, you've done that, and you made really big changes. But others haven't made that much of a drastic difference.
Shakita Dowell says about 2-3 weeks ago she seen Ronnie Coleman chilling getting a pedicure. He was able to sit still.
Sit still and yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. That brother, how many back surgeries that brother had? God damn, man. Jeez.
All that it needs. Listen, he had a decade of, like, almost a decade of dominance. I don't want to hear nothing. That's what it took for him to do it. I applaud him for it.
Yeah,
I know it was a sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing I love about him is that he'll say the only thing he regrets was not squatting 800 pounds 2 more times. That's a champion.
That's a champion. That's a champion. People call it sick, but they just don't understand it, man. That man, at the top of his game, holy fuck, man. That guy.
Like, if he would have had that reign now, he'd be a millionaire. You know, back then the prize money wasn't as lucrative, but it was just like the accolade. He literally dominated for what, 8 Olympians?
8 Olympias.
Yeah, it's like it's insane.
It was a reign of terror.
Like how can anyone take that away from him? And also he's just his personality. I think he's a great icon for the sport. You know, like, yeah, he suffered, he dealt with it. But my thing is, like, how else would Ronnie have done it? That's how he grew that body. He did it, like, that was his style. Like Dorian Yates too. Yeah. You know, a lot of people say if he would have changed the training program, if they would have changed the training program, in my opinion, they wouldn't have reached it, because that's the only way they were forcing their body. Of course, do I agree that something could have been a little more intelligently crafted to help, you know, support recovery? Of course, but, like, you know, you look at other athletes like Branch Warren. I'm a fan of his hardcore style. Of course, but he breaks his body all the time. You know, even technically, an Olympia escaped his grip because he was second place one year in Olympia, and then he tore his hamstring the next. Like, you know, right before. Yeah. You know, so it's like, of course, these things happen, but I don't think those people would have ever have made it as far if they didn't train that way. And I know that's probably a controversial statement, but that's where I'm sticking.
No, but I mean, listen, it's sport. It's just like it's just like boxing. You know what you're getting into. You can literally die in there. You know what you can get into. But that's your choice. You know, if you walk away from the game. You know what I mean? And I have nothing but respect for Ronnie Coleman, man. I've watched maybe all of his training videos, man. And that guy was squatting, and he was doing unbelievable weight, man. Time to bleed. Time to bleed. When my text goes off, it says time to bleed. It's him. Time to bleed. You know, that guy was squatting like amazing weight, man. And I would look and say, yo, look, I'd like to do some shit like that, but I ain't got the balls. But the fact that he's doing it, that was something. Yeah,
that's true dominance, though, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because nobody compared to him until they upped their game. It's not like Phil Heath. Phil Heath was like, yeah, man. What do you call it? Shape and all that all day, and a few times his gut was off.
Flex Lewis is my one. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. Say what you're saying.
No. It's a comment on what Will Magic Man said. But go ahead.
No, go ahead. What you say?
Oh yeah. No. He asked a question of have you or your panel heard of the bodybuilder Flex Lewis? The Welsh Dragon. Flex Lewis is coming back. I don't see him on the list. I mean, I don't know if I could have sworn they officially announced it for the Olympia that he's gonna compete. But I'm a big fan of Flex Lewis. I definitely think he's a contender because if you look at Artie Chupin, he for being a 212 guy and breaking top 3 with the open class, you know, and then, you know, Adi Chupin and Flex, I think Flex would have watched him, to be honest. I'm a big fan, and not being too biased, I just think he just has better muscular structure. Come on, those freaking meat hook forearms and his the way his when he does that front last spread, even the most muscular, you know, it's just insane how well crafted his body is. So I strongly think that Flex Lewis has a promising future in the open, and I would love to see him go as a 212 champion of 7 years, to go against like Phil Heath if he makes his comeback too in the same time. That would be like ridiculous. I would love to see that fight. I think Flex got Hottie. I think Flex has Hottie.
I've seen Flex taking like Arnold Classics, definitely. taking a win in one of the Honors
Well, remember,
Classics.
Flex is not in the Arnold Classic. So Flex is already because he's a previous Olympia champion. He's permanently qualified to enter in the Olympia stage, for his class. So like once you're an Olympian champion, you until you die, you can like participate unless they tell you, hey, you probably want to do it because you're too old. Like like Dexter Jackson, he doesn't have to qualify. He could just stand up
off the couch
and go on stage, and do it. I don't know if that rule is going to change since the Wings of Strength bought the Olympia company. Just to answer the Felix's question, my money's on Flex to beat Hadi. I think he'll outmuscle the hell out of Hadi on a 1-to-1, and I think his conditioning is on par or even better. Because remember, Flex is also known for having striated glutes at that weight. And not only that, if it comes to the open, Flex has to diet down severely to get to the 212. He's actually used to being at a higher weight, pretty lean. So I don't think going to the open class is going to be that much of a problem. So I would love to see them go at it. But yeah,
it's been a long time coming. Anyway, I'm interested to see exactly how you fare Flex will flare against everybody else. But but think about
it. Short too. That's the problem.
Think about it. There's no Ronnie Coleman. Come on, man. There's no Ronnie Coleman. You know what I mean? So
not yet. It might be in Patrick Moore if he keeps it up. Everyone's saying like if he starts taking the doing the right things, training the right way and taking the right stuff, he might be the next Ronnie Coleman. He has if you haven't seen him, check out Patrick Moore. This guy, has a promising future in the IFBB. Merely if you look at his frame, he's so reminiscent of a young Ronnie Coleman. It's scary. And the fact that we don't have people of that caliber anymore. If you stand, because people act like height doesn't matter. Height matters when you send, even you could be as muscular as William Bonac, right? And you put him against Big Ramy. It's like it kind of messes with your perception. It's hard to judge because Lionel Bayeki's here. William Bonac is here, and then Big Ramy's up here.
Right.
It's like it naturally feels like he's dominating him just by the structure. So it's hard, especially for the audience. Even harder for the judges when you're on the pro level. But Lionel Bayeki, if he gets conditioned though, that's always a freaky thing. He's a massive human being.
Fucking huge.
I still don't think he got it though, even conditioned. So I still think the other guys are beating him out. Felix.
Shakira, you said he lives in your area.
That's dope. Autographs, please.
Get an autograph. Run up and give him a high five. And you know what you do? You tell him to tune into this show, man. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I did want to discuss some bodybuilding too. And you know what? I might start doing that. Man. Because that's a forgotten craft, and believe me when I tell you, it's a craft. Not everybody can do it. It's a craft. But I'm like 28 minutes over, and I'm going back to the gym. Yes. But that's all good. Yo, listen, guys, thank you guys so much, man. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for having us.
And I'm going to do, the Arnold is next week, right?
I believe so.
It's next week. You know what?
I think they're going to have a live stream, too.
All right, so you know what? Maybe next Sunday, I'll have a conversation about that. If you guys are available, jump on.
What, post or pre?
Post.
It's March 6th. Friday, March 6th, all the way to Saturday, March 7th. So probably the big guy's gonna be on March 7th for the finals.
Okay, so that's.
So we do a post show.
We do a post show. We do Sunday. We do post show. Yeah. That's what's up. All right. Thank you guys so much.
No worries.
Josh, I'll see you in the pit. You know how it is. You know what I mean? Flex, we'll talk. We're gonna get you started. You gotta get your channel up. Let's make this shit happen.
I know.
Josh,
I
recommend the same for you, man.
Have a good one. Yeah, we're gonna get this all set up.
Oh hell yeah, Josh. Man. All right, brothers. I told you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Everybody move.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.